You're listening to the BNI Effect, the podcast of Brisbane entrepreneurs who believe in givers gain. I'm Tony Meredith, and ordinarily I'm a business coach who specialises in sales and leadership. But today I'm your host. And in this episode, I chat with another BNI member to explore their biggest wins, biggest lessons, and how you can get the most out of your BNI membership. This is episode number 83, and today's guest is Chris Cook from Worrells. Welcome, Chris.
Hi, Tony. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thank you for being here. Let's kick it off with a BNI story. What's the best referral you've either given or received through BNI?
It's a good question, particularly in my game. So we specialize sort of in solvency. So we're the product that no one wants. And so how do you sell a product that no one wants? And this is where the BNI opportunities and networking, where you've got an opportunity to develop your level of trust with your peers and your chapter members to sort of push what it is you can provide. So the BNI story for me, I suppose, is where we've had successes. So we specialize in businesses with distress. So we had some franchise businesses recently, racked up a bit of tax debt. We got in and we saved their businesses, is a long story short. But it wouldn't have been possible without the relationships that are built with my other fellow members to allow them, for me to tell them the journey, develop that level of trust that we're in there for the solution for the client. So I think that's where the value of that network came about. There's always resistance to getting someone like us involved, but when we can demonstrate the outcome and the solution we can provide, that's what gets the outcome. So that was a good one for us, and also for me and the party that referred it across to speak to the group about and showcase what it is we can do.
When did you first discover BNI?
I went to BNI many, many, many years ago. I went to one, popped along and just went, this is not for me at all. And then a couple of years ago, I got invited again. I thought, oh, all right, I'll go check this thing out. And that's when I went to my second meeting, and instantly it was a hit. Straight away, that I connected with the people in the group that were there. They were just sort of just a better connection. And I've learned a lot since that time when I've gone to other meetings where really it is sometimes a situation where you want to look at different chapters, different groups to see what's going to be a fit for people. So for me, I was lucky my second time round, it was an immediate fit. And I joined literally at the end of the meeting. I started the joining process straight up. I just knew it was going to be right for me and what I could offer for the chapter as well.
So, are there any lessons for the viewers or the listeners, Chris, in regards to the differences between the two meetings? Because that happens often where people go along to one BNI experience, they don't like it, and all of a sudden that now tarnishes their view of BNI. Whereas, and that could have easily happened for you, whereas for whatever reason you went back again and you had a totally different experience to the first time.
That's exactly right. And I always recommend to anyone coming in that they should try a couple of chapters just to see if it is what's the right fit. We obviously want them to join our chapter where we've got a spot for them. But I've had that resistance put up, those walls put up against people that I know outside of BNI. I went to a meeting, it was a waste of time. So I tell them that journey. I say, look, maybe you just didn't go to a meeting that was a right fit for you. It might be a right fit for someone else, but just not for you. So all I do for people in that situation is just convey the message of my experience and sometimes it helps. Sometimes people still, nah, it's not for me.
So you said that when you went back second time, that first meeting back, you just made that decision instantaneously. So what was it about that first meeting back that caused you to then make that instant decision?
Yeah, so it was two different groups. So it was a different group that went to the second time, but immediately I could just see the people in the room were people I could develop relationships with, both in the sense of receiving and giving referrals, and just see immediately that was something that, and I was right. I'd like to, thankfully, which was good. But we had, I heavily leverage off professional services across all areas, and this group had a particular, or still does, has a particular professional services side to it, which allows me to connect with all types of businesses in everything that we do. So that's that. As soon as I saw that when I came into the room and they went around the room as to what everybody does, I could immediately see, yeah, I can see how this is going to work. Both sides, the group can provide for me and what I can provide for the group.
So how long into your journey then did you determine that, you know what, this really is worth it? Appreciate that sort of first impression of that new meeting, but then, get going into BNI, maximizing your membership. How far into that, Chris, did you go, you know what? Yes, I've made the right decision.
Reasonably quickly, but what you become, what I particularly came aware of is how much it's a long-term game. You don't go in there. For me, it's a relationship and developing those over time. It's not transactional based, personally, in the sense that it took me probably 6 months of going around one-to-one with everybody, getting to meet everybody, tell them what I do. Especially in my industry, it's a difficult service to sell. Show the value that we can provide, the trust that we can provide, and we'll do our best to get a solution for the client, which may well not need us. I can connect them with somebody else or whatever. So I quickly learned after meeting with people, there was some people that once I started to tell the story and they told me what they did, that I could see that there was an ability there for that long-term game. But it probably took me 6 months of being part of the group before I actually got a referral out of it that was going to convert to thank you for closed business. But then it has just steamrolled from there. It just takes a while to get going. And that's the messaging we're often telling the new members. Look, it's a long-term game here. You're not necessarily going to get an immediate win out of this. Some do, and great, but some just takes a little bit longer, particularly in that more professional services space.
Well, look, I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's about, and again, that's the giver's game, right? So it's about playing the long game. What do you consistently do, Chris, in BNI that brings you results?
I was VP for a while. I just finished up actually, which is always an interesting role. And for me, I do love the numbers. That's what I do. But it keeps coming back to that simple message of going out, meeting with people, the one-to-ones. If you go out there, sell yourself, understand what everyone does, build that relationship, everything else just comes from that. It actually breaks it down to as simple as that. I used to put all the numbers up on the screen for our VP report and show and correlate, do little circles and stuff around the numbers showing this month the chapter was up on one-to-ones. Look, that's now converted over to referrals. Look, that's now moved over to thank you for closed business. So it all comes back to that simple fact, and that was the message our group worked hard on for a period of time. And by just getting back to those basics, I mean, our group's revenue went up by double, thank you for closed business over 12 months by just following the basics of developing that relationship with each other, understanding what each other do, and the results will speak for themselves.
And it's one of the great things about BNI around following the system. You know, BNI has been around for 40 odd years. The system is in place for a reason because it works. And like you said, you guys were just following the simple steps, you know, putting your left foot in front of your right, doing all the right things, and, you know, you double the revenue of the chapter. So well done.
Absolutely.
What are some mistakes that you see members make that potentially holds them back from their BNI journey, Chris?
Probably coming back to that one-to-one piece, not willing to commit to the group, not willing to get in there, do the time, respect the long-term game scenario, perhaps coming in expecting quick wins, quick work. Oh, they've been in for a month and why am I not getting referrals out of this, when they haven't gone and made an effort to meet people, understand the process, understand the system, Tony, that you just mentioned, that it's been around for so long because it works. So that's the biggest advice, you know, not to get caught up too much in the system, but just take the time to get to know everyone in your chapter, and the rest will happen. So those that are expecting quick wins and not willing to commit, they're the ones that are often leaving quite quickly.
So let's have a chat about you and your business specifically. So you sort of touched on it earlier, but can you give us an overview of your business, the main services and products that you provide, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do specialise at Worrells in insolvency. That's what we do. We help businesses and people with financial distress. It can be all kinds of ways that's done. It can be somebody who's got a tax debt that is not sure what to do about it, and that can be it's that resistance to putting someone's hand up for something that it may affect their pride. They might be a little embarrassed about the situation, and that's where we can come in and give them some guidance and some options. I'll sit down with a free chat with anybody. We don't charge for any of that. We'll go through a number of options, usually up to about 7 different options, and only 2 of those actually involve us. We're about the solution for the client, whatever's right for the client at the end of the day. So we can help them with tax debt. Sometimes as businesses just got it closed, we can help them with that if they need to go down that road. If there's a dispute between parties where 2 business partners, the business is very successful, but they're just not getting along and they can't agree on an exit strategy, we can come in and assist in the exit strategy so they both get their money out of that as well. And then just normal negotiation of debt and things of that nature, both at a business level and a personal level.
And what makes your business different?
I think what makes us different is our empathy. We understand it's not an easy situation that people are going through. We will talk to them, we will take them on that journey, and trust. So they can trust in that the advice we'll give them will not be about pigeonholing them into a job for us. It'll be about giving them the solution they want and doing that empathetically. We appreciate the difficult situation they're in. So by us just approaching it empathy, approaching what their options are and talking them through that, giving them and arming them with the information that they walk away and make the decision that's right for them at the end of the day. And that's all that matters. What's the right solution for them? So we pride ourselves on doing that well. And then we've got advanced IT systems to do the jobs efficiently, quickly, and that results in a little bit cheaper as well.
Who's an ideal referral for you right now, Chris?
For me, certainly accountants is where we're at. It's we 95% of our business comes through our advisor network, where the accountant's doing the work for the clients, whether it's their tax compliance work, and they're seeing the numbers and they're saying, "Hey, these guys you got some challenges here. Your tax debt's racking up. You need to move earlier rather than later." So that's where we like to be connected with that accountant. So they say, well, look, because it's outside their wheelhouse normally. They don't know what to do it. They're not an expert in the area, and to be honest, they actually don't want to do it. It's just not what they do. So the idea is they pass them over to us, and then we can talk the clients through the options at that point. So for us, definitely accountants at the top of the list of our referral base.
Excellent. Well, let's play a word association game. So I'm going to say some words and I'm looking for short, sharp answers in response. Networking.
Valuable relationships.
Referrals.
Opportunities.
Success.
Finding solutions.
Coffee.
How much is too much?
I like it. Give us game.
Look, valuable. Very
Sport.
valuable.
Yep. Sport.
Rugby. Love my rugby.
Right. Team.
Queensland Reds.
Reds. Okay, great. And BNI.
Just an opportunity to be successful.
Excellent. Thank you, Chris. If you could give one piece of advice to someone who wants to grow their business through networking, what would it be, mate?
Just put yourself out there with confidence. Get out there. I'm always talking to my staff about networking opportunities when they go to functions. I'm saying, look for those people that look like they're uncomfortable, they're nervous, they don't want to be there. They're crying out for someone to talk to, go over and approach them, start the conversation and get it rolling. And you'd be surprised how many times when you just do a simple thing like that, all of a sudden, they don't forget that and they remember who you are. And you've just made yourself a point of difference from everybody else in the room at a large event. But networking is just about meeting people, being confident in yourself, confident in your business and what you sell, and just developing a rapport and respecting the long game.
What's one exciting thing that's happening in your business right now that you'd like the listeners or viewers to know about?
A big thing that's out there that's causing a lot of businesses some distress is the tax office. There's a lot of tax debt out there at the moment. It's gone up double since COVID started. So the big message we're out there is please just be proactive. If anyone has a tax debt, don't. We're happy to talk to them with the options, but don't ignore it because that's when the tax office is getting very, very aggressive. If you're communicating with them, it leaves options on the table, and you can keep your business going. At the end of the day, we want to save businesses. That's what it's all about. And the ATO at the moment is all the statistics show just how much debt collection activity they're undertaking. So please don't ignore them. It's probably our biggest messages to all businesses out there that perhaps have a bit of tax debt.
Great advice. How can listeners learn more about your business or get in touch with you, Chris?
Certainly through a BNI app, of course. Search there is always the first place. But me, I'm a little bit old school, Tony. I like to meet people face to face. I like to get in front of them, have a chat, have a conversation, and develop that networking. So I'd be more than happy they reach out through BNI app or LinkedIn or just pick up the phone. Quite frankly, our website's worrells.net.au. My details are on there. Give me a call and more than happy to take it from there.
Excellent. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Well, look, that wraps up another episode of the BNI Effect, and my absolute thanks to Chris Cook for sharing his insights with us and showing us what's possible in BNI. If you're a member of BNI, then perhaps you can take one of the ideas that Chris has shared with us today and put that into action over the next week. Alternatively, if you're a visitor to BNI, I hope that you've seen how powerful this community really can be. Subscribe to hear more real stories from BNI Brisbane members, and until next time, give more, trust more, and grow more.